मैं गाड़ी चलाती हूँ।
नहीं चंदा, जीप में चलाना।
आकाश!
चंदा, चंदा उतर जाओ।
आकाश बचाओ!
चंदा, ब्रेक, ब्रेक।
We are finally here to talk about some of the most shocking, regressive, and in some cases, the most illogical Indian movie sequences that you won't believe were approved. For anyone new here, this is the MATLAB KUCH series, where we reference not only how far we have come as a society by talking about films from decades ago, but also recent films, providing us a stark reminder on how in many ways we are still stuck in the dark ages as a society. Let's get right into the shocking and fun stuff. I hope this episode gives you chills and also a great laugh on the absurdity that is Indian cinema. So here is Tried&Refused Productions with 5 shocking Indian movie scenes you won't believe were approved. Rustom, one of the movies that turned out to be a box office hit at a time when whatever Akshay Kumar touched turned into gold, was the 2016 film Rustom, a movie based on the KM Nanavati vs State of Maharashtra case that also saw Akshay Kumar winning a national award for his portrayal of the naval officer Rustom Pauri. I have an unpopular opinion regarding this case and the shady nature in which the makers of this movie masked and justified the crime committed by the protagonist. I think everyone knows the basic plot, right? Let me refresh your memory. Cynthia is married to Rustom. Rustom is a decorated officer, only to return back home and notice that his wife is sleeping with Vikram Makhija, his friend and a wealthy businessman. Rustom kills the man with his service revolver and surrenders to the police. What follows is a court case written in the history books as Rustom represents himself in court, and more importantly, the public is in his favor, portraying his act to be just, and that too of a reaction of a wronged husband. So cheating partner equals it being perfectly justifiable to kill the man she slept with.
अगर हमारे रुस्तम साहब ने उसको गोली मारी होगी ना, तो एकदम सही किया साहब ने।
What's even crazier is that the film tries to whitewash the crime committed by the officer with 2 plot points of loyalty towards one's nation and the incident itself that did not even happen in real life. They first of all portray the crime itself to be one of self-defense, which was not the real case. And second, Rustom identifies a shady arms deal taking place with naval officers, and guess who is the businessman engaging in such anti-national elements? Vikram Makhija, the same man sleeping with his wife Cynthia. So by adding this plot point of Rustom refusing the deal and even killing the corrupt businessman, you justify the murder further by clearly insinuating that the officer did a favor to his country by killing a man who can be easily labeled as a terrorist. This did not happen in real life. What's the most infuriating part of this film is that Cynthia, played by Eliana De Cruz, throughout the court hearing is this damsel in distress, apologetic about her actions. The couple is shown to have a happily ever after, by the way, with Rustom letting bygones be bygones. This is precisely the case because of which jury trials were abolished in India. Rather than leaving a cheating partner, it, in an extremely twisted fashion, justifies murder on what was essentially just a love triangle gone wrong. What's also crazy is that while the movie shows a man going scot-free, in real life, the High Court found overwhelming evidence of premeditated murder, overturning the jury's verdict and convicting Nanavati. But how can we ever do that with our Bollywood hero? Laila, a movie that absolutely baffled me for it even being greenlit as an idea, is the 2025 Telugu film Laila starring Vishwak Sen. The movie is made in such a low effort manner on these curated bubblegum looking sets, that it easily looks like an extension of the Tarak Mehta Colony. The movie that presents Vishwak playing a beautician, popular amongst the ladies, has the hots for Akanksha Sharma, who plays the role of Jenny. He follows her at the gym to get membership in an all-girls gym, tries to work out with her, and Jenny brushes him off as a persistent creep. But do you know what really gets her heart fluttering? When instructed to take multiple rounds for coming late to the workout session, Sonu, played by Vishwak, puts her on his shoulders as a sign of strength, and we get this scene. The crazy part is that this act of machismo causes for Jenny to absolutely lust for the man, and we see her mostly ogling and tadoing the man for the entirety of the film and working out with him like this in a public gym. There is a subplot in this film where the villain wants to kidnap all the unmarried women in Sonu's salon, a girl that is completely transformed and caked up like most makeup artists doll up Indian brides, absolutely whitewashing them with concealer or foundation, looking like a complexion that isn't their natural color. The villain falls in love, only to be dumbfounded the next morning. You know what's even crazier? The father of the villain will only accept a woman whose name is a title of a Chiranjeevi movie. You know what's even wilder? The parlor is attacked and there is a fake case on Sonu. Pressure is on, and his only solution is to now dress up as a woman and take the identity of Laila, the new salon girl in town. You know what's even more wild? The villain falls in love with Vishwak dressed up as this wig-wearing heroine, and his subservient wife, the villain's subservient wife, who has been shamed for her complexion ever since the marriage, allows him to get married the second time if the girl is beautiful. Both the villain and a constantly harassing police officer played by Prithviraj lust over Vishwak Sen till the climax, making me conclude this about this movie.
ఇంకా 20-30 minutes తర్వాత like this is nobody's cup of tea. అసలు ఇది టీయే కాదు.
Kambakkht Ishq. If you want to see a film that is absolute brain rot in terms of content, performances and even the bloody idea, it has to be the 2009 film Kambakkht Ishq. I refuse to believe that people can look back at this film and still find a silver lining. Imagine, Akshay Kumar is a player hating the concept of marriage. He comes to the altar to stop Aftab from getting married to Amrita. In the midst of all of this, Kareena also enters, assuming that all men are dogs. An argument ensues, and see what is the first interaction that leads to a romantic relationship.
तुम क्या मेरा मुंह बंद कराओगे?
Love your strawberry lipstick, babe.
You know, when you commence anything in this fashion, it's destined to be doomed.
Dog.
Bitch.
Both Akshay and Kareena constantly bicker and fight, and if you want to see something uncomfortable, see every song in this film. It showcases Akshay harassing or physically manhandling Kareena almost so aggressively you just want everyone to tone down their energy. I mean, he doesn't even spare Amrita Arora. The film has every problematic trait possible. I'll give you 4 subplots in this film and tell me if you still want to give this film a chance. Akshay Kumar at a wedding party recommends a Viagra protein shake to Aftab, which Bindu, his right-hand man, drinks, and it in turn makes him horny, harassing every woman that moves and imagining them to be half naked. In one instance, just so that they can get their friend Aftab laid, Akshay and Bindu put on blackface, posing as doctors, claiming that Aftab has amnesia and the only way he can be cured is if he is given some love therapy.
अब ये ऊपर जाएगा?
नहीं.
विधवा वाला ऊपर नहीं, अपने बेडरूम में जाएगा. तुम्हें इसको जितना प्यार देगी, ये उतना ही तुम्हारे करीब आएगा.
There is a plot where Kareena seeks for revenge against Akshay by reporting him to the TSA so that he gets anally probed by an African American. These are just some of the subplots. The main plot is Kareena operating on Akshay and dropping her arm bracelet in his body, only for it to ring the tune Om Mangalam Mangalam in random intervals. You know, all of this stuff is still fine, but when you today see the biggest Bollywood stars with their body doubles, they look like spitting images of the stars, right? But tell me, in which world is Akshay Kumar a bang-on body double for Brandon Routh? This film, even from a cringe watch perspective, is unbearable.
I have no interest in you, any other man, or any woman.
वो जिन, Whoa! No action! Whoa!
Ism. You know that if I'm doing a Matlab Kuch Bhi episode, one of the three things have to exist. Balaya, Mithun Chakrabarti or a Puri Jagannath film. And here we have a Puri Jagannath film that is terrible beyond belief. Nandamuri Kalyan Ram plays a fighter in Ism who is head over heels for Aditi Arya. So much so that when he is fighting, he is distracted and calls out her name in this fashion.
भाई ओए नाम तो बता तेरा नाम क्या है
They cross paths with one another multiple times. All happening by coincidence, by the way. He ensures to say the most beautiful lines that every woman dreams of hearing from a stranger.
अगर मुझे फिर से दिखाई दी ना तो पूछूंगा नहीं कि तेरा बॉयफ्रेंड है या तेरी शादी हुई है नहीं सीधा मंगलसूत्र पहना दूंगा दिखना मत है
In beautiful and not creepy fashion at all, he sees her again in a club, only to greet her in what is the most appropriate manner to approach a girl at a club.
ये सब क्या?
कहा था ना फिर से मिलेगी तो मंगलसूत्र पहनाऊंगा
The woman is annoyed of these aggressive approaches. She even ropes in a man called Takashi to beat up the hero, but a puny-looking cruiserweight finds a way to win. He barges into her house. She complains to her father about his stalkerish ways, and just like every father should, he kills him. And guess what? Our heroine now is sad because she started falling in love with the stalker. She can't believe he was killed, only to realize they killed another imposter and our creepy hero is still alive. Moral of the story, keep at it, keep the following and stalking going, eventually they'll come around and accept you. Pati Parmeshwar. For anyone who hated the Sania Malhotra starrer Mrs. with a passion, first try to self-analyze and step away from the red pill Andrew Tate brainwashing you have underwent, and second, here is the antithesis to Mrs. in the most problematic fashion known to mankind. Pati Parmeshwar, a movie directed by Madan Joshi, so appalling and so regressive that the censor board actually decided to ban the film, refusing to even censor it. This case went to the High Court, and this itself can be a movie, which I will shed light on later, but let's talk about the movie first. Shekhar Suman is a scam artist. He with two cronies always say no to Dahej, only to land up before the Bharat and say that there is an urgent need of funds because of an income tax chhapa. The father of the brides usually provide the petty cash and bang, they vanish, leaving the women on the day of their marriage. But Shekhar Suman wants to get bigger fish, so that they are sorted for a long period of time. So he dupes a rich father into believing he is a noble man by randomly doing acts of kindness in situations he himself orchestrates. The father falls in love with him, the woman accepts the father's wish, and this is how he bids farewell to her.
और सौभाग्य की एक बात यह है बेटी कि तेरा पति पति नहीं बल्कि परमेश्वर जैसा है तेरा पति पति नहीं बल्कि परमेश्वर जैसा है.
This is how the bride is treated in her new home by her mother and sister-in-law.
यहाँ कोई राज करने नहीं आई हो समझी साफ सफाई चूल्हा चौका कपड़े बर्तन सब काम तुम्हें करने हैं.
By the way, on their wedding night, Shekhar Suman is seeing a mujra performed by Dimple Kapadia, someone he doesn't know, but the girl remembers. She is another girl that he left at the altar. Dimple Kapadia, now a tawaif, knowing Shekhar Suman's perverse ways, thought ek din to ye aayega hi. He's such a turkey that he lands up on his wedding day there, and Dimple vows for vengeance to make his life hell. The wife, on the other hand, suffers at home. She constantly provides the husband every monetary need from her father. She gets to know about him going to see this dancer every day at night. So she wonders what to do, and her own spirit tells her what any self-respecting woman should do in this situation.
क्या तू तलाक लेगी तू तलाक लेगी तू तलाक.
You would trade a life with a cheating husband to independence from toxicity and an acknowledgement of self-worth? Nahi. The spirit advises the girl with the wildest analogy, essentially telling her to endure all kinds of harassment in the house.
औरत की तुलना धरती से क्यों की जाती है? धरती क्या कुछ नहीं सहती. हल कुदाल भूकंप बड़े बड़े विस्फोटों से कितना छलनी होता है उसका दिल, मगर वो कभी विद्रोह नहीं करती, कभी तलाक नहीं लेती.
Shekhar Suman, with some stroke of luck, becomes paralyzed from the waist down. Knowing he can't travel to the Mujra to see Dimple anymore, the wife, even goes out of her way to escort him to the Tawaif and wait outside till they are over.
ये कौन है?
ये मेरी नौकरानी है।
She speaks to Lord Shiva, reprimanding him for making her husband go through such torture. She, on this vrat, is on the verge of collapsing in every scene. Shekhar Suman learns about her sacrifices, regrets his perverse ways, only to see the wife do a tandav in a temple, in dedication for the husband to become free from this paralysis. And guess what happens? I'm done. I am done. Justice S.C. Pratap ruled that the ban of this film was not justified. In his judgment, he said that the lead character Rekha exemplified the inner strength and character of Indian womanhood, and that as a true Saubhagyavati, she steadfastly holds onto the higher values which in a matrimonial home today are seen falling by the wayside.